Hello guys, welcome. Today we have ourselves a white Daytona Panda build. For this build we have a 40mm sapphire crystal case with chronograph push function buttons. Buttons are smooth to the touch. They can also be screwed down when not using them to not let moisture in. Also with this nice bracelet. We can go ahead and set this down for now. For the movement, it's going to be a VK63 Mecha Quartz. Has a date function, but we won't be seeing it for this build once the dial is on. Comes with the battery, and I'll go ahead and put it in now. When putting in the battery, just be careful not to break this latch here. Definitely need that to have it secured in. And there you go. Easy as that. Here I have a set of silvery, kind of like polished hands. They have a nice shine to them and a good reflection. Pretty much this is the whole set for what's needed for this build. And last but not least, the best part of this build is this white, beautiful dial. Has like a nice glossy white finish to it, which is really cool. Has two pins in the back, that way you can set it on top of the movement. So we'll go ahead and attach this to the movement. Gotta make sure to align the two pins to the two holes. Which one is at the top, one is at the bottom. So set like this, these are both the top and bottom holes where it sits in. Just gotta make sure to align it. Sometimes the little pins on the back of the dial are not aligned properly. As you probably noticed already, I'm having a little trouble getting it to sit in on the movement. So the pins in the back sometimes are not straight. Grab my tweezers, kind of bent it, that way I can get the pin to sit flush inside. Majority of the time the pins arrive a little bent, so you just have to play around with them, but don't move them excessively or else they will break off eventually. So just do very, very slight movements, as long as it gets in. That's all that matters. They can be slightly bent, but it can still go in. I think I finally got it at this point. Just having a little trouble with the bottom one. Had to pick up the tweezer again and adjust it. I think at this point I finally got it, and there we go. Now it's sitting nice and flush, and as I mentioned earlier, the date function is not needed. It's going to be hidden under the dial, but right now I'm just turning the crown until I hear the date switch. That way I know it's at a brand new day, which probably won't even matter in the end, even if I don't adjust it like that. Now we can carry on to putting on the hands. I'm going to be starting off with the left subdial, which is a chronograph minute hand. It's up to 60 minutes. So just try your best to align it and then press it in. I didn't like the way I aligned it to begin with, so I try to push it a little over to center it with my tweezers. I wouldn't recommend that. You can damage the movement, but I did so anyways. It's best to remove it. Now that I saw that it was aligned properly how I wanted, I pushed it all the way in. And we're moving on to the bottom subdial, which is going to be our seconds hand. On a VK63, there is no big seconds hand like a normal watch. So it's on one of the subdials. And always got to center it before pressing it in. Shift it to the right as I pressed it in, so I had to use my tweezer to push it back. Got it this time. Looks good. And our final subdial is going to be this right one, which is going to be a 24-hour hand. On the real Daytona, it has a different function, but on a VK63 it's a 24-hour hand. I know it shows up to 30. Always got to center it and then push it in. Gotta do those little micro adjustments on the hands before setting them in. There we go, all the subdials are done. Now we can move on to the main hands and start off with the hour hand. Just set it slightly and make sure to align it as always. That looks about right. I like to press it in with my tweezers just a little bit so it grabs and sits flush, and that way I can press it in and it won't really move too much. So just like that. Just before continuing on to the minute hand, always have to make sure that this hour hand does not collide with any of these mini subdial hands, and it just passes over them without colliding and getting stuck. Give it a couple rotations. I like to do 2. It's also that way you can hear the date function move correctly and switch to the next day as well. Now we can start on the minute hand. Just carefully place it on. Always have to try to center it as best as you can before pressing it in. Could take some time. Took me just a little bit for this one to get settled in. But eventually I got it. Very OCD about getting it centered. Again, as always, just make sure that the hands don't collide with each other. And this one seems to pass by flawlessly with no issues. Last but not least is going to be the chronograph second hand. These are always a tough one just because if you do press on it too hard, you can break the little pin where it sits on. Just a gentle little push right there, just so it catches into that pin. And you can micro adjust it right after. Now you can fully press it on. You can always check from the side of the spacing for each hand. Mine's a little bent, but still works. Now we can test out the second hand function to make sure that the hand is set on correctly and it works properly. Give it one last pass with all the hands passing through each other, make sure spacing is good. Now we can start assembling it all together. Here I have a lens pen just to clean the glass of the case. We can now remove the stem. There's a little hole where you can press into and it releases the stem. When setting in the movement into the case, you should definitely kind of go in from the side, not just straight in, or else it'll get stuck, just like how I did. Now that the movement is in place, we can attach the stem, that way we can size it and cut it accordingly. Make sure to add some blue Loctite when you're screwing the crown into the stem, that way it stays in place and that way it doesn't unscrew in the future. I did add the Loctite later on, and right here I did screw it in just a little bit more just because it wasn't catching into the threads when closing it off. Just make sure that the crown sits flush against the case to make a seal. Now we can add some silicone grease onto this O-ring for the case back. Give it some water resistance. I like to use this Seiko brand. You can buy it on Amazon. Just give that O-ring a good coating of silicone grease. Make sure not to get some on the movement when placing it in. Now I can attach the bracelet here. That way we can finish off the build. And there you have it. We have ourselves a white Seiko Daytona Panda. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I'll catch you guys on the next video.